For over 50 years, Northview has been a source of gospel light to people in Danville and the surrounding communities. From the early days right here on the square in 1968 to the present day, the mission has always been centered around the commission that Jesus gave in Matthew 28 to go into the world and make disciples. In every decade of the church's life, there's been a desire to see people's lives changed through the power of a relationship with Jesus, and a willingness to do whatever it takes to reach those people for Christ. I think that's why, in a day where thousands of churches a year close their doors, Northview is still thriving. The constant leadership resolve to prayerfully consider what needs to be done today to fulfill the Great Commission tomorrow has guided the church through an ever-changing cultural landscape. In the last 5 years, Northview has grown by double or more in virtually every measurable way. Baptisms, attendance, children's ministry, offerings, small groups, and the trends are still going. This year we had more baptisms by July than we've had in any of the previous 10 years. We've added more ministries to multiple generations of people. We had over 1,000 people attend one of our Easter services this year. We're finding new influence in the community too, with leaders and community programs. God is truly telling a new story through Northview, and it's awesome. But today, more than ever, we are climbing uphill with cement shoes on if our entire strategy revolves around Sunday mornings. As good as it has been these last couple of years, holding the door open on Sundays just isn't enough for the future of the church. Why? Because more and more people are hesitant to set foot in the door of a church on a Sunday morning without a previous connection. That's why I would tell you that we're at a crucial moment as a church. That's why I would say it's time to step into the next chapter of mission that God has in store for us. As a leadership, we've themed this next season of ministry, Open the Door. Devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful, and pray for us too that God may open the door for our message so that we may proclaim the mystery of Christ for which I'm in chains. Pray that I may proclaim it clearly as I should. Be wise in the way you act towards outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. In these verses, Paul's sense of gospel urgency and open-mindedness to seize existing opportunities has led us to ask a new question about the day and time that we live in. The question that's usually asked by churches is, how do we get unchurched people's attention? Well, we've instead asked, where is their attention already? And what we've found is that most people, if not at home, tend to spend their free time around relational or recreational activities. More specifically, sports, arts, food and drink, and children's play. And that became a light bulb moment for us because we live in a community with limitations, shortages, even non-existent amenities in some of those areas. And the more we began to pray and dream and plan, the more evident it became that we had an opportunity on our hands that we had to seize. Now, you know the church has always been a people and not a building, but people often cultivate relationship and find community in the environment that a good building with great amenities creates. That's why our vision for the future is connected to reimagining our facility as a community center that draws people in every day, not just on Sundays. We not only believe this is good stewardship of the facilities that God has given us, we believe this will have exponential kingdom impact as it will multiply the relational opportunities with our neighbors, especially those whose next step with God is their first step with God. If we repurpose our facility as a community center, we have the opportunity to, one, give a massive gift to our community that makes life better for all residents, and two, ensure a relational connection to those outside the church for years to come.
I am excited to see this project come to fruition. Just a hub for people to come and gather together, and we're going to be able to minister to people who probably wouldn't normally walk through our doors.
We have this opportunity to really see God at work in a physical way right in front of us, and I think that people are going to be wowed when they see Him start to move.
Open the Door is a 2-year adventure with 2 main goals. Our primary goal is 100% engagement. It's because first and foremost, Open the Door is about discipleship. It's about shaping the heart of a Christ follower in how we give of ourselves. Our primary goal during this initiative is that everyone who calls Northview home will open the door to a fresh conversation on kingdom generosity. Whether you've never given anything before or you're a consistent giver, there's always a next step that God is asking us to take in the area of generosity. We're asking that you sincerely pray about this and you allow God to lead you through a faith-stretching experience. Our secondary goal has two components. The first component we call devoted and thankful. Open the Door will include ongoing commitments to all existing ministries of the church. This component is our regular general budget, which sustains and supports all of our ministries, missions, staffing, administration, and facility maintenance. We are so thankful for the people and mission that God has given us, and we will continue to devote ourselves to helping people take their next step with God. The second component is called openings and opportunities. We see an incredible opportunity to transform our existing facility into a vibrant community center full of life 7 days a week. But to do this, we can't just say the building is a community center. We have to truly transform it. We need to change the impression from the street and create beautiful spaces designed with the community in mind on the inside. So we're seeking to expand our facility to include a coffee shop, indoor turf field, basketball courts, a large children's play place, a new kitchen, and breakout rooms for music practice, birthday parties, and other community gatherings. We also plan to modernize our existing auditorium with new technology and seating, making our 600-seat auditorium a premier space for worship, as well as plays, recitals, seminars, and other large gatherings.
This Open the Door initiative has been what I've been praying for years for our church. I think too often we get stuck in the mindset that we have to wait for folks to come to us. In reality, we should be going out. We have a message, we have the good news to share, and through this initiative we're going to be able to do just that. It's such a perfect picture of meeting the needs of our community in a very unique yet tangible way.
This is a moment for our church to make the most of the time that we find ourselves living in. It's a time to find new ways to reach those around us with the hope of Christ. But for this to happen, for our impact to reach beyond where it does now, it's going to take each one of us opening up the doors of our heart for God to move in a huge way. Like the Colossian church, I invite all of us to rally together towards kingdom action. I invite every single person at Northview, all of us, to pray and to engage in this conversation with God wholeheartedly. I believe many years from now, this upcoming season will be remembered as a turning point for Northview, one where God synergized our church body in an incredible way to reach our neighbors for Christ like we had never done before. Northview, let's open the door.